Respect, unconditional love, married upon self, married upon self. You already know what it is. This is your boy. Naga Neter, Naga Neter, Naga Neter. Ariel, Naga L. You already know the vibes. Yeah, man. I was watching a couple little videos. I guess I wanted to talk about that I saw. And one thing, I was watching Corey Holcomb, and he was talking about that mental, the nutrients for the mind. You know what I'm saying? People need nutrients. So I saw this hat. It was like advanced nutrients that I had. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, you know what? That'll be dope as a cross concept. Let me talk them advanced nutrients today. I'm about to put them advanced nutrients in your head. You know what I'm saying? So advanced nutrients, baby. Alright, basically, I was watching Brother Polite and New Jersey Twerk talk about religion. And I'm not going to talk about the brothers and their point of view, because everybody's entitled to their point of view, and that's my aspect for this conversation. What I wanted to illuminate is the original people are the Jews of the universe. So the innate ability of us is to be able to transmute energy into positive aspects. Meaning whatever we go through, we can make it better. We can figure it out. We can make bad things good, you know, make the worst of the situation the better. But see, that energy stemmed from being some of the greatest problem solvers in the world and knowing that though. But if you remove the fact that you knew you was a part of something that was able to transmute energy into something greater, that doesn't mean that your power's gone. That just means you don't know that you're accessing it through different circumstances. So, where I'm going to turn this corner at to start giving benefit to my situation or my conversation, it's just a theory. I'll turn the corner by saying different religions and aspects through the whole existence of humanity, period, redeemable high retrospect for those people and perceptions of that place, time, era, whatever have you. Whether they were revered by somebody else of a non-stature or judgmentary situation of discontent for whatever the services was. Meaning, it didn't matter who said what and what time. All these different circumstances played a part and their counterparts to contrast. What we fail at in religion is to judge somebody's perception of their emotional aspect through what you believe. So, when you filter something, energy, and it becomes one with you, it's filtered into you and then back through you. So therefore, you get some form of a personal understanding with the energy that you particularly want to deal with. The universe gives us unconditional love in anything that we want to deal with. It doesn't matter. Your mother of the universe is every single aspect. What the universe does not indulge in is what we like to call, is the best way to explain it without sounding hood, extremist qualities. People who may OD, overdose, people who don't have what you like to call a governor to their life. So even in some retrospects that you believe is potentially good for you, it might be bad and you're supposed to be learning from it, so you will leave. So the regurgitation of this concept constantly, it'll put you in a bad circumstance eventually. anything positive that grows you, whether that's, your natural talents or something that you're taking bits of it and using the ideals to grow your life instead of being dogmatic, is going to be good for you. Basically, what I'm saying is don't get drunk off whatever you deal with in life. I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't overdo anything. When you overdo anything or do too much of anything, you get sick. So therefore, anything that we do in life can be bad. I don't give a fuck what it is. Anything you do too much in life can be bad. Anything. If you don't have a governor. So the universe respects the progressive growth with a governor, meaning you can see what you're doing while you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? You have a contentious to understanding every bite you take. You're not just stuffing everything down your throat, whatever the circumstance may be. So I personally theorize that whatever energy resonates with the soul, because each DNA pattern is actually older than the human body that it exists in, because it's DNA that's formulated from old DNA. You know what I mean? So DNA has been here like hundreds of trillions of years and shit. So the actual existence of the original man has been around, probably 75, something like that, trillion years. Meaning woman first. But just saying that, the unconditional love that was given to the earth and to everything to have whatever existence it seemed fit here allowed you to do whatever you wanted to do, whether it was bad or good, in your eyes of perception. This is why judgment is not supposed to be a thing that we deal with. We're only supposed to judge when things come within your circumference to where you have to delegate how you will move or protect yourself in that circumstance or family. Otherwise, personal judgment is not really a conversation for infliction, like meaning you don't judge people on your outlook of how they should be. You see what I'm saying? That's something different. Otherwise, we all be walking a straight line. But it's granted. And this is why a lot of times, a lot of things that we want to do, we can't accomplish or get, to go to the next level with, because we've accessed somebody else's perception on our vision or our views or our spirituality or our ways of being or whatever have you, that comes in those categories of, particular things that have to do with you and your character. As soon as you access another perception outside of that, if there is something we used to say back in the day, I hate when people say, well, what you should do. Well, what I think, I didn't ask you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need your force to change. Life is going to be complicated, but, if you sit still and you kind of like clear your mind of whatever the circumstances. And I know it's hard to clear your mind, because I used to have that problem. Like, damn, how do I clear this shit? I get this shit out of my head. Like, woo, excuse me. Yeah, shit is alright today. But how I used to clear my mind, I would think about my best scenery. You know what I'm saying? Like a time I was at the beach or something like that and I caught the sunrise in the sky or whatever, or the way I saw, a tree line or something like that, or mountain rise, you know what I'm saying? Like something I saw that was in my head, I personally thought that was beautiful. I would pull up one of those thoughts in my head and it would actually it's nothing to think about because it's a memory. So I don't have to think about it, I just see it. And everything else I would be thinking about would kind of just fade away. You know what I'm saying? So I think personal images of gratification that you might have experienced through your life will be a good way to clear your mind. If you can clear your mind and at whatever circumstance you're dealing with, whatever iniquity, turmoil, whatever have you, what'll happen is you'll get a clear visual on exactly how it took place. And you'll see more your role. And at that point, the ego is going to kick in, and it's going to make you not want to look at your personal interaction in whatever circumstance. But you have to. And you have to look at it, and you have to take that feeling on your chest and say, yeah, all right. And then now you know how to delegate. So then you kind of defeat the problem without trying to defeat the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at yourself, and most problems only need to, like it's like Jenga. You know what I'm saying? You remove a piece out, that piece is no longer a part of Jenga. You know what I'm saying? So a problem really doesn't exist unless you allow it to be one. So if you remove the placement of which you played in that, then you no longer have a problem. So most problems begin from people's personal ego and their perception on what someone else is doing and how they're living according to how they feel personally. This is how problems are born. You want to cross your world and your war within yourself, your duality within yourself, with somebody else who doesn't even see your war. And when this takes place, this is wrong. Intentions have their own energy built off the war that you're dealing with inside yourself, the duality you're dealing with yourself. So those entities within you are going to clash with someone else. And then depending on how further along they are in their universal book of life, you can stagnate them. See, personal responsibility is one of the greatest integrities that we can actually try to gain and work on. Personal responsibility. If you can do that, then you simultaneously can build an integrity that will allow you to skip to the next levels. You know what I'm saying? As far as how you consciously comprehend what the universe has for you. You know what I mean? And religion. There are so many low levels of consciousness here. You know what I'm saying? People who still think on an animalistic form. You know what I mean? Like, they'll rather just, sit in the dark and move like animals. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean trying to be funny. I mean literally, like, move like animals. Don't do much. You know what I'm saying? Real tuck into the cave type. You know what I'm saying? Not really highly educated. You know what I'm saying? And it's people's on different levels from the lowest to the highest aspect of human beings. So, with that being said, there's always going to be an advantage for each level of life that's existing here to learn something. Even animals can learn. And they learn at their own pace. You cannot make an alligator play PlayStation. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? But maybe in some time in the future, through collective learning, it will get, to a certain point. We are at a different, supposed to be civilized way of thinking. And within this time, whatever it takes to relax you, even out your spirituality and balance out your comfortability for comprehension on what's going to simultaneously open your mind to a broader horizon on how to collectively be attached to what you already are, which is the human race. These things I think are needed because people are in different aspects around the world, and depending on what the personal problem may be or the energy that exists, you're gonna need different contingencies that's gonna bring you to a heightened level of consciousness. Whether that fortitude is Nubian, Christianity, Muslims, Buddhism, Judaism, chilling with the Tuwa tribe in the middle of the jungle somewhere, you know what I mean? The Twa tribe in the middle of the jungle somewhere, or somewhere down in the Amazon, whatever these things, if this is your energy at that moment and this positive growth, I say take it in moderation and go with it. If it's allowing you to interact with people in a way that you're not inflicting personal gratification off people by forcing your knowledge on someone else because you think dogmatically about a one way, you can't think the one way. And the reason why I can say that is because you live in diversity. Everybody wants to say what's right and what's wrong. It's not a such thing as what's right and wrong. It's only the person who's looking at the interjection of what they want to be that right for them that can consider something opposite or a contrast to that action wrong. So it doesn't exist. It's only a perception of an energy that is only particular for a certain circumstance. That's just like I'm saying, I'm not going to eat hot dogs, fried chicken and rice, crab salad, ice cream, brownies, chips and dip, and then have crab legs. You know what I'm saying? And then eat a hamburger and pizza. I ain't gonna eat that. I mean, that's just fucking too much. You know what I mean? But I have enough sense to understand the difference too. So in different areas, these energies are drawn to you to give you these counter understandings to where you can fall to your negative side or you can rise to your positive side, but it's going to come in the dialect of the energy of the area that exists for you. What happens is people try to get dogmatic with this understanding and take it, what you want to say, they're using it too much. You know what I mean? They're overdosing themselves with the idea, and then they try to go implement this on everybody else. That's a drug. Then you become a hustler. You are no longer the person bearing the religion or the knowledge. You become a hustler because now you're forcibly pushing this knowledge because you personally believe that your ego states this is your job. When in fact, the universe doesn't need nobody to do anything. Somebody even wrote it in a book, that the Most High calls upon us to do certain things. No, you're crazy. The Most High can talk and can put his thoughts into any living thing not known to man. Creation can put its thoughts into any living thing known and not unknown to men. So we're not going to sit here and regurgitate thoughts of man thinking that the universal creator of everything needs its help, when in fact it hasn't even been here, or mankind, might I say, hasn't even been here no longer than anywhere between 6 to 10,000 years, if that's justified saying by giving leeway. And it's just, for me, clear understanding, you know what I mean? Like, so I think whatever's available, there is no personal perception to have a negative connotation towards it. Whether it's Hebrew, whether it's Egyptian, whether it's Kemetic understanding, whether it's study of Ptah, you know what I mean? Whether it's any of these old back in the day things. If this energy is attracting to you and you have a comprehension and understanding of how that knowledge is coming about and it's serving you in your positive growth to open your mind more consciously to be more connected to the people that we are, because we are separated. It's not rocket science to understand how or what it should be. It's when it's not what it is, we should be doing the opposite. It's plain and simple. When you have a nation of people that are not connected for whatever reason, the contrast to that is what we should be doing. We are weaker not together. You don't fuck with nobody say, you need to do this, you need to do that. Whatever, man. Look, it ain't never work. It only got a few people up just so they can look back and say, you're not doing this. Well, that speaks to the people who are in the place of that. Everybody don't have those same skills and qualities. You know what I'm saying? So it really did take a village, and it still do. But the concept of understanding that's what it takes. It doesn't exist. So, like I'm saying, the universe makes ways when things are disconnected or discombobulated. So if Tommy down the street wants to be a Muslim, I'm for it. If it makes him a better man, and he's doing better by people in society or whatever, and he's bringing pluses to his life instead of negatives, then that's great. If you want to be a Kemite or study Egyptian knowledge, or go sign up for the school of Ptah, and it makes his life better, and whatever he's doing, I'm so for it. You know what I'm saying? In any aspect, if you want to be a Christian, if you want to be whatever, if it makes you better to serve people, and I don't mean serving people as, motherfucker telling you what to do. I mean, you're just, you're comfortable around whatever goes on. You have no judgment. You're out here just doing right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're living your life, but in the midst of anything that may need to be done, you're just playing a role. Man, you know what? We making the world better. Because that's the problem. Everybody think they're so separate that when we see shit going on, we won't do nothing. We just stand because of your own beliefs and your ideologies. I'm going to take them. It's really fair at the end of the day. But if everybody in their own beliefs was strong in their beliefs, and you use whatever strength that made you a positive person, help the next person no matter what they were, then we moving in a stronger direction. It's not one of the things that's normal. We do not fight for each human being. You do not see a crowd of people stopping somebody from doing something. You do not see a crowd of people stopping kids from fighting no more. and letting them talk their problems out and actually find out why they're angry and find out if it's serious enough for them to be fighting. We was growing up, if the problem you was fighting for was stupid, they'll make y'all tell them what's on, and then y'all gotta make up, or you can get your ass whipped. I understand if you fighting about something worth it, but if you fighting about some dumb shit, y'all just dumb. We not having that. We don't promote dumbness. See, we don't do these things no more, those type of things. Or even allow anything to be what it is so it can grow in its own right, because we too busy judging each and every little thing, trying to put our ego in front to tell somebody what they doing is wrong or what's right. I can care less what happened at what time frame, or if this really shined this way, or if he walked on this water, or if this man parted this sea, or if this guy raised his staff and, made snakes. I can care less what story happened in what time. Okay? My point is, if it's helping you right now, I bet. Because as any other aspect in your lifestyle, I cannot control. I don't tell you what time to brush your teeth, and I don't come tell you how to do that shit neither. I don't tell you how to wipe your ass or go take a shit. I don't tell you when to cook your food or when not to cook your food. We are not in each other's life like that. So since we're not even in each other's life like that on a daily basis, how the fuck you gonna tell me how to deal with my spirituality? See, energy is connected, and it's gonna go wherever it's gonna go. That's something that nobody can control. I don't give a fuck who you is. You cannot control energy. Just like you driving down the road and you pick up a radio signal, you turned into the station. You tune into the station. So when you tune into the station, you get a radio signal from whatever station is broadcasting in your area. How you think niggas pick up knowledge when they download the shit from the sun? So whatever energy is in your area that's particular for you and it works for you spiritually, I'm all for that. I ain't knocking. Just don't come trying to push that shit on me. If it's allowing you to be a better person to everybody in society, no matter what, without you implementing your crack on somebody else, meaning pushing your shit on somebody else, it just makes you a plain better person, then so be it. But if it's out here gotten you like some hustler, if it got you out here telling everybody what they believe in is wrong and you thinking you right, now you dealing with the ego. Now you sniffing too much of your shit. Now you drinking too much of your shit. Now you banging too much of your shit. It's getting dogmatic at that point. See, this is the real science to it. Nobody really want to see it like that. You got to have balance in everything you do. I don't care what it is. Some things work for some people and some things don't work for people. Peanuts are killer motherfuckers. Some people love peanuts. You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at this person who can't eat peanuts. I'm going to fuck them shits up. I love peanut butter and jelly. You probably can't be next to that shit. You see what I'm saying? Is that bad for him? If I want to use these terms of words, or it's just the way. That's just like if a fish and a bird was friends. See, dogs and cats be friends. See, cats and wolves be friends. Lions, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, little dogs and lions and shit. Anything can lock in this world if the energy is correct. You know what I mean? So it has nothing to do with what's not at the current moment. What is at the current moment is not the aspect to even understand that is a way. We would rather do everything else besides that. You enjoy the savage. The savage feel good. When in fact, the better way you're looking for is at your fingertips. It's at your fingertips. It's just being happy because that person's happy. And see, only thing I'm talking about in a short term, what I'm breaking down, it's called unconditional love. That's what I'm breaking down. Unconditional love allows you to love a person no matter what their choice in life is. If I'm your friend and I choose you as my friend, and you go out here and you do some dumb shit, we're going to fight together. You might have started that shit, but after we get back where we going, I'm going to tell you about your simple ass. No question. And if you don't like what I'm saying, we might be thumping. It is what it is. But as a friend, I got to keep it real with you. That's unconditional love. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging you. I'm going to be there for you. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? We build off that line. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Unconditional love. Love people with no conditions. I'm always here for you. That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's why most relationships don't go right neither. You know what I mean? Because you say you love them, but you don't have where that term came from. Love came from having unconditional love. If you have unconditional love for your partner, you have no complaints. There's nothing they can do in your eyes is wrong. You see what I'm saying? And that's the love you should have for the world. And if you got that love for the world, then you can care less about what somebody else is doing as long as it's benefiting them to be a better person. It's like saying this person right here, he's a metal worker. I don't want him to come over here and mess with the wood. You mess with metal. So I want you to be the best metal worker you can because that's what I need. I need you making metal. So I can come get some metal works. And my woodman, I need that nigga nice. Because I can come get some wood works. I might be the plant man. You know what? They need me comfortable so I can grow that food. What's the difference in that understanding to what'll make me the better person to deal with each of these people? Spiritually, I respect his work. It might be a different ideology than how I do my job, but I'm going to respect his work because it works cohesively with me. The way you see things might be apart because it has a lot of truth in it. Let me see what you're going to do with it. We could talk about shit all day. If that thing is letting you move right, I don't want to hear what it say. If whatever you believe in lets you move right the way you do to people, not what you say to people, what you do to people, I ain't mad at what you got going on. Because you're doing it right. I remember going through things when I grew up in the streets, you know, being shot, stabbed, maced in the face, looking out for help, like reaching for people walking, and people grab their purse and pull away or step over you. You laying in the ground, you hurt, they step over you. Mostly white people always stepped over. And it was probably, you know, the niggas that was doing something to you. I've been hit by a couple different types of people, but you know what I'm saying? You know, and when you're in the world, you gotta do what you gotta do. But this is what I'm saying. Majority of the people that I experienced in my life that just didn't care was that culture. And it's not an attack on that culture, it's just an experience. So what I'm saying overall, it's not like it's not in every single culture. It is. This is why I'm saying unconditional love is needed overall. Overall. And if you have unconditional love, you don't have a conversation about what someone else is doing. What you worried about what they doing for? You know what I'm saying? Like that should be the last things. What somebody does in their private time should be the last thing on your fucking mind. And you should not want to exploit what you do in your private time to people in the world. That's less baggage to carry. You gotta walk around telling everybody about your achievements. I'm this and I do this. It's ego. That has nothing to do with really having a connection with somebody. When the last time you actually sat down and have a conversation with somebody without swinging your dick or pushing your titties up? I got this and I did that. What kind of conversation is that? Do you not know how to have a conversation with somebody? You not know how to laugh and joke about shit? See, me and my homies are crack jokes on each other. Look at this onion head nigga getting out the car. What's good, my G? What's poppin', nigga? How you been, man? Where you been, man? What's going on, man? We about to do this, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, let's chop it up. Man, hey, yo, man, back in the day, we used to da-da-da. That's how, old school. We go back when we was kids and talk about shit and laugh because it's funny. We laugh at ourselves because it's funny. We talk about our shit because it's funny. We talk about our dirt because it's funny. We talk about things that we might have got played on, or a chick we might have tried to holler at or try to holler at, and the chick was like, no. You be like, yeah, everybody laughed at you. We talk about our shit. Don't disrespect nobody else. And that's just walking towards it. So then when you putting your shit out there, you're not afraid to put your shit out there. You take responsibility for your life. That makes people respect you more. It makes people feel comfortable around you because you ain't trying to attack nobody else to get a laugh. You ain't trying to boost your ego. You just putting out your own shit to make everybody else laugh. See, unconditional love comes from being an image of what that represents. So you have to learn how to be that. So if you don't have unconditional love for yourself, you ain't loving nobody. I don't give a fuck what relationship you in. I don't give a fuck What life you got going on? If you ain't practicing unconditional love for yourself, you don't have it for nobody else. So then, if we want to talk about debates, we want to talk about issues, we want to talk about problems, first and foremost, the reason why you handle a problem the way you do is because you don't have self-control and you don't have unconditional love for yourself. Facts. That's why you can talk so indifferent. Otherwise, your conversation that you would have about people would be based on unconditional love, and the reason being that it's missing is you would understand the function of that and the lack thereof. We had unconditional love, we would have so less judgment. People wouldn't have so many different needs to fall into this negative aspect that creates all these fucked up stories that they put in movies and tucked under the mountains and all this crazy shit. You ain't gonna have none of that, because unconditional love would have been, you know, it would multiply, and everybody would see that as an image of something that they would have to live up to. Otherwise, you start sticking out like a sore thumb if you ain't doing, you know, doing right like everybody else doing right. A lot of personal issues, man. Humanity has a lot of personal issues. And I'm just, you know, I'm hoping that my message is getting out in some aspect, because, you know, I love all people, you know what I'm saying? I love life itself, you know what I'm saying? Being out, being able to experience the visuals of life, you know, like different mountain views, ocean views. I love traveling, you know, and I love meeting new people and being humble in that aspect, and, you know, experiencing new foods and places and smells and stuff like that. Like, I love doing shit like that. And you have to have unconditional love if you ever gonna do stuff like this. You got to be accepted. You know what I mean? You have to have that type of air around you that, you know, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you know, you carrying a different energy that people can feel. You know what I'm saying? If you open, then, you know, they'll open up to you. It doesn't matter what their ideology is or what they believe. You just open up to it and have respect for it. And if you do find respect for it in the right way, then you'll understand that you possibly could have been in whatever place in this world that you have that ill content for. You know what I'm saying? You might have ill content for certain things in your life, but by fact, you could have made a left turn or a right turn that could have put you right there. So when you got respect for it, it's like acknowledgement to the fact that life grants you, it grants you comprehension. It grants you, you know, the understanding, you know what I'm saying, to comprehend what the universe's knowledge is really giving you. It grants you that wish to see, because you was able to put your ego down. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I'm just trying to give you a little something, man, because I know it's real. You know what I mean? It's not even a question in my head. It's a way of living, the way you think. You know what I'm saying? And knowing how to think. Because the power of that energy, that frequency itself, it like nullifies other things that are not relevant. You know what I'm saying? Just when you can ride that wavelength of that high intelligence, when you picking it up, it's inside you, it's intel, and it's nothing but unconditional love that gives you the allowance to see and have these things. Try it out, trust and believe. You know what I'm saying? It works for me. You know what I mean? And I know how to nullify shit. So, you already, man. One.